clearly. It was as though I was there right now. And I said to Hardy Shelby, take your 2 men and go over to that gulch and work your way up to the top that way, and we'll work our way up going forward. Oh, I had a walkie-talkie, and I was really ticked off because all of our men hadn't arrived out of the woods. Instead of 20 men, there were maybe 10 or 12 of us only. Now, those of you who know much about wars, you know that in any outfit, you have somebody at the, bringing up the rear who has always got to police the soldiers. I guess the guy that was bringing up the rear here didn't police, so one of my men stopped back there, and it worked like dominoes. They didn't, the fellow behind him didn't move. They don't want to get out into combat. I guess it's a human nature. So we were just maybe 10 of us, and Harding took his 3 men, so there were maybe 6 or 7 of us working our way forward on our bellies, when a new problem developed. From behind us, back in those woods, came the fire of a rifleman, a sniper, and he hit each one of us. We were helpless to move anywhere. A machine gun in front, and this character from behind picking us off. I was hit right in under my arm and into my chest. And I remember that early on, one of the thoughts I had is that this is a fatal hit. The bullet didn't come out. I'm going to die. But I thought, let's get this thing finished before I check out. Because we stayed on our bellies and kept working forward. Harding Shelby had gone over to the gulch, and I'm sorry to say he died over there and his 2 men. Pretty awful. But we kept going. As I recall, throwing hand grenades up at the machine gun fire, and we got up there. I don't remember just what happened. Somebody said they're gone, and the machine gun, the Germans who had it, were running down the next hill. So that was it. We did our job. And I hadn't died. Martin Murray had been hit in the eye, and I learned later he lost all vision for all his life. But I walked with him and another man whose name I don't remember. We were able to walk back down the hill and found Captain Faust. I mean, I'm sure in my heart everything was, I can't remember everything, but I did see Captain Faust. Told him that we had taken the hill. I was ticked off that my men hadn't come. Oh, they did come over after we got the hill, and I did hear later from one of the men, this is a month later or so when I got out of the hospital, Roy Fulcher told me that he was one of those waiting in the woods. He heard this rifleman near him. He said he crept over under that German. And the guy was getting out of a hole, putting on his overcoat, presumably getting ready to turn himself in and be a prisoner. Roy said that he shot him dead. I wasn't there, but I'd like to think he did that. Anyhow, I'm about the end of the story, except it was being there was a very unbelievable experience. It is right now sharing it with you. Somebody in our group said, get the bottle out from the van. I didn't know it, but they brought a bottle of wine and plastic glasses to our group. And I'm going to call on the Colonel. He made a toast for us. And I can't talk right now. Would you come up and make your toast, which you did that day?
It was an absolute pleasure for me to do the research for this trip. I spent a day in the National Archives in College Park, Maryland, got all of the original overlays and maps for the battalion and figured out where they had been. World War II, 1 to 25,000 map. And what I was able to help Staff Sergeant Dunn do is to put his wartime experience in context. The 10th Mountain Division was one of the best units in Italy by the admission of the German commander in Italy. Its motto was climb to glory, and it certainly did that in its battles in February, March, and April of 1945. I'm going to repeat the toast I made when we were there in Italy, looking up at Hill 775. To Staff Sergeant Dunn and the men of 2nd Platoon, G Company, 86th Mountain Infantry, who scaled the slopes of Hill 775 and thereby climbed to glory and made possible the triumph of American forces in Italy and the destruction of Axis tyranny.
That's it for the night. Is that right? Thank you all. Good night.